You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Oh man, good morning Montgomery County. Got that slow groove boogie woogie going on. Uh-oh. Camera, do not go to my guest. We have a secret guest in here. I will tell you it's a she, and when I said secret groove, she started laughing, and them feet started patting. Laughing and patting. She was laughing and patting. How y'all doing? Good morning. It's Wednesday. Yeah, I'm silly. What about it? Got a problem? Change the dial. No, don't change the dial. Don't change the dial. Don't hurt my guest that way. But it's Wednesday. You know that I try to be happy. Try to be goofy. It's Wednesday. It's a beautiful day. We're supposed to get rain. We're supposed to get wind. Had you listened to the forecast the last, 72 days, I think they start screaming a month in advance, you would have thought that Ike and Katrina were going to converge and Sharknado was going to happen in Montgomery County. All I saw was some little guppies swimming around in the trees. But it's a beautiful day, and if we get rain tonight, we get it. We probably need it. I live in the city of Conroe. I don't turn on my water sprinkler, so I need the rain. It's like $10 a gallon or something like that. No offense. City council's fighting for us. Go big daddies, go take care of us, but it's still expensive, you know what I mean? I haven't figured out how to drill a well without somebody seeing it, Nancy McKesk's going to drive by and go, Nathan, what is that water well drilling rig doing in the back of your yard? I love Nancy. I hope you're listening, Nancy. I love you. And if you're not, somebody share this with her and tell her I called her out. She gives good hugs. She's good. So it's a beautiful day. We're going to have some rain tonight. My understanding is rain all weekend, some gust of wind. So all due seriousness, be careful. Be careful driving out there. Be careful what you're doing. But the good news is Saturday from noon until about 8:30 inside in the KOA Event Center, protected from the rain, protected from the wind, is Fearless Boxing is putting on their Montgomery County Fight Night. We're going to have over 30 matches, amateur. We're going to have some 8-year-olds in there. 3 1-minute rounds for 8-year-olds. Dude, I'm telling you, if you love boxing, you got to be there. If you like boxing, you got to be there. If you've always been curious about boxing, you got to be there. A lot of reasons. Support our community. These are 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20-year-old amateurs and some young women. And if you said, women ain't supposed to be boxing, yeah, I got a couple of them you can get in the ring with, and we'll see what you say after that. Let me tell you what, Ashlyn Reyna, Victoria Kumpian, Nancy Wagner. So it's going to be a fun thing out there at the KO. It's only $12 a ticket. 8 hours of entertainment. Pastor Shelton, the Anthony Shelton of West Tabernacle Church, will be there to pray for us that we have healthy, safe matches and that we have fun. And I'm telling you, man, we did this back in March Madness, and it was so cool. The winner, they raised his hand, Jorge Saldana or whatever, and he's, yeah, okay, and then he immediately gets down and puts it down, and he calms down, and he shakes the other guy's hand, and he opens the rope. I think 9 out of 10 winners parted the ropes for the other guy to go through. And it was just so gracious, man. There's such a camaraderie. But for those 3 1-minute rounds, or for the older guys, those 3 3-minute rounds, let me tell you what, for that 3 minutes, it is warrior time, buddy. And an old dude, James Roy Reyna of JR Masonry, old dude. I mean, he's like older than Methuselah old. He's coming out of retirement. Hasn't boxed in 25 years. And he can't say, I'm so pretty. That's my line. Muhammad Ali took it from me. And so I'm so pretty. And James, he's not real pretty. I think he's okay with his speed, but man, he got some power in those paws. He's got powerful paws. And he knows how to slide and slip. So you guys got to be there. He's going to be the main event. 25 years. And he said he's doing it more for the kids. He wants to show them that he can still do it, that he still believes in it, but he's willing to put himself out there. He knows he's winning, but privately he said, you know what? If God chooses for me not to be the victor, hey, I also got to show the kids that you come in second place, you lose with dignity and with pride. So be out there. We're still looking for sponsors. We still need some sponsors. Got some incredible publicity awareness opportunities for you. I need a car dealership to come put 6 or 8 cars out there and do credit applications and do test drives if you want to, or schedule them for your store. And we'll give you lots of love for just a little bit of money. If you own a small business in town and you want to get that word out to people, we're going to be having booths around the corner. But we had over 600, almost 700 people there in March. So anyway, that's my sponsorship spokesman person for them, but I'm a part of Fearless, so, I got to do that. And I don't really know what else is going on this weekend. I haven't looked at it. I'll look through today and tomorrow, and I'll blow it up on Facebook on Montgomery County Lifestyle if I find something real important, a fundraiser. I do know there's something going on. Philip Cash shared it. There's a benefit going on in Willis from 11 to 2, I think. Some kind of barbecue fundraiser for somebody in need. So check that out in Willis. Get a hold of Constable Philip Cash, Heather Cash. I know they're a part of it, and see what's going on. If it's it's probably something good. And that's about it. Just be careful in the weather. Don't listen. I got to throw this out there. I read this morning. I was happy to be a part of the Montgomery County Judge Craig Doyle fundraiser. That I was one of the photographers. I was the event dude, kind of whatever. And then the premier photographer was Stephanie Davis. She is the premier photographer. You need somebody, professional headshots, weddings, bar mitzvahs probably. I don't know. If you need the best of the best, that's Stephanie. If you need the best event dude who knows how to liven up and jazz up, that's me. But that's another story. So we got to get out there and have some fun. I posted 2 albums, and and I wanted to drive traffic to his event and get people to go and get them fired up. And I got to tell you, it's just really funny to read opposing opinions. You got one side. I read this morning, somebody was talking about there was nobody there. It was sparsely attended. Everybody was sad because of morose. And then you got another one saying there was like millions of people there. Holy crap, man. Get involved in your community. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm not telling you who I support. That's my business right now. Go check out everybody. It was a great event. It was a community event. For those that showed up that don't support Craig Doyle, that was fine. They got to still be part of a community and talk about business in the community, talk about church, talk about how people's brothers and sisters and moms and kids are. I heard conversations. I saw Brett Bartholet talk to 2 women that when he was a little kid, they weren't sure if he was going to be any good when he grew up, or was he going to be a rotten little apple his whole life. It was so much more than just political stuff. Don't get caught up in everybody's games. Live your life. Do what you do, and don't let all these people influence you. If you do, you're on your own. So that's my rant. That's my soapbox for the day. I had fun last night. I saw a lot of people having fun. But, hey, whatever. I'm looking forward to everybody's events. I hope everybody hires me to drive traffic to their event, because I personally think that everybody should get involved and listen to both sides. And I think everybody should vote, not this 10 or 13%. That's sad. We got judge races coming up. Man, if you guys haven't gotten involved in district and county judges, you need to. Do you realize the power that the judicial system, those elected officials, have over our community? Pretty much lately it's all been good, but it could go bad. But all we worry about is that big headline. Get involved in your community. Talk about it at church. It's okay. In fact, I'd much rather somebody that I think is a little godly, not just fake, blow it up on Facebook, I'm godly. I mean, really godly. Lead me down that direction. Speaking of, it was great to see Todd Yancey and Jim Gentry. Those are 2 people that I look up to. So, anyway, get involved. Man, I think it's time to take a break. And you know why? Because I'm ready to talk to my guest. This is a friend of mine. I've known her for quite a while. She is awesome, effervescent, and she's nice to me. even when I don't deserve it. We're going to be talking to Shawn Johnson, works for the city of Conroe, the Conroe Connection Transportation. We're going to talk about the bus routes. We're going to talk about new bus routes. We're going to talk about the disability side. And we're going to talk about Park and Ride coming to Conroe, Montgomery County, into Houston when we come right back. You're listening to Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Arrazate on Lone Star Community Radio. We'll be right back.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? The Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776 with your question. Get seen on TV or YouTube and heard on our podcast, FM, and internet radio. Sponsor your local radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
At least I wasn't gonna. And then you almost caught us talking off. I knew when I did that. And then what she said, Shawn, I know. Can you believe that? I'm so glad the radio's on. And then I walked up and I said,
Nathan.
Well, he said, oh, we're on the air. Oh my gosh, you caught me.
Special.
I'm special. Yeah, I am.
Special is the only way to describe Nathan.
Guys, I'm telling you, I'm on fire today in fuego. Oh my Lord. I don't know what got into me. I'm just in a fun mood today. I probably lost half the listeners, We probably went from, I could do like all these people do.
What?
We've got 4,083 people listening this morning.
Okay.
And then the other side will go, no, Nathan, we checked. You had 3 listeners. I don't know. Eric Estes is listening, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. There's 1. Mm-hmm. Nancy Wagner's listening. There's 2. Is Lindsay listening at the office?
No, she's not at the office today.
Well, she's at home listening.
She's at home
Yeah,
listening.
there's 3. Okay, we got 3.
Jermaine Johnson's listening.
There's 4. Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine, I like that name.
You do?
Of course, I'm old, so you know where I'm going with that. Jermaine.
Right.
Does he have moves like Jermaine? Yeah, we won't go there. Can he sing like Jermaine? Yeah, we won't go there. Is he pretty like me and Mohammed?
Yes.
All right, we got one of them. All right, folks, we're just having fun. Nathan Arrazate coming to you from Montgomery County Lifestyle. In fact, it's the other way around. Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Arrazate. Our talk radio show every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 11 to 12 here on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, irlonestar.com. Or it's going to come out tonight or tomorrow on YouTube video. So the YouTube channel, Montgomery County Lifestyle, always has this on there. Mm-hmm. And then next week on City of Conroe, our City TV, Channel 12, Sudden Link, you'll have the show. Mm-hmm. So we want to bring you good community information, businesses, nonprofits, some political. We'll get into the campaign stuff and we'll interview, like hardcore interview, but also just state of the office. I've talked to a couple of the recent elected officials the last few days, from judges, tax assessor, constables, that are going to come on and just talk about what's going on, okay? Not talk about vote for me and not talk about I don't like her and stuff like that. Just talk about what's going on, but mainly the community, interesting people. So that's what I've got with me today. I've got an interesting person. She's a friend of mine, and we're going to mainly be talking about the city of Conroe and the buses and stuff like that, because a lot of people don't know about it or they don't understand it. But I want to dive into Shawn Johnson. Who are you? Tell us a background about you, because you are very, very involved in this community, so much more than people know.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Who's Shawn? Well, actually, here's a fun fact for you, and most people probably don't know this. So I have a full name. It's not just Shawn. Shawn Johnson is wonderful because you can't tell if I'm male or female by looking at my name. You can't tell my ethnicity. You don't know anything about me. It's a nice, clean name. In fact, most people would liken it to the gymnast, Shawn Johnson. So it's a fun name. But I was born, my full name is Shantavia Johnson. And I don't go by that name very often. People who know me very well, who can pronounce it well, it's fine. But It's just kind of one of those things where, in school, I always knew when the teacher got down to my name. I'm here. Just call me Shawn. So after 10, 15, 20 years of that, you're just like, look, let's just call it Shawn, and that's that. But
How do you spell it?
okay, so the Shawn is SHAWN.
Okay.
And then the Tavia is TAVIYA. Shawn Tavia.
Well, but see, and I'm real hardcore. My name's been butchered my whole life, and I don't care. I really don't care. It doesn't bother me. I laugh at people because some of the things that come out of their mouth is nowhere near what it is, right? So you probably had that too. But I could see how, man, the first time or two, Tavia, because you've got somebody that would call it Tavia, Tavia. So I get it, but then they should learn it the first time and remember it.
Right.
So that is on them after that.
Right. So if you can get away with it, I love it. That's wonderful. But, I don't want to go through my day correcting people. It's just hey, call me Shawn. It's all
Johnson,
good.
your married name?
Johnson is
So
my
what was your
married
maiden name?
My maiden name was Holmes, HOLMES.
Oh, see, so they are like,
Yes.
órale, Holmes. Vatos loco forever, Holmes. Oh, my gosh. I told you. I'm on fire today,
You're just
baby.
going to go there.
I had to.
Vato.
The vato in me's coming out. Arrazate's not Italian. So where did you grow up?
I was born and raised in Las Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite an experience. I knew growing up there that I really would never live there. It was just an interesting environment to be born in and raised. But like around high school, I moved to California. So I went to school in Central California, Fresno area. It's a town called Tulare, Visalia. And then
Small town?
Yeah.
Compared to Conroe, compared to Houston, compared to whatever. San Antonio,
I would compare
Dallas.
it to Conroe.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not as close to a big city like we are to Houston, or yes?
Yeah, Fresno's right there.
Okay.
It's pretty large. So I lived there for a while and had a lot of family in Southern California. I went to college in Northern California. Go Banana Slugs. Anybody? UC Santa Cruz?
You think I'm weird? Okay.
Hey, but
Let's
have you
back
seen
up.
Pulp Fiction?
Yes.
Okay, so
17 times.
Okay, so the guy.
There was two of them.
Okay, not
Samuel L. Jackson. Oh no.
the Staying Alive dude.
Night Fever. Night.
Yeah.
Fever.
Okay. He wore a T-shirt
John
that said
Travolta.
"Go Banana Slugs," and we were so excited.
Was he wearing the T-shirt when he was eating in the Waffle House type of place? Banana slugs.
Go Banana Slugs.
Is that like a slug that
It's
lives in a
disgusting.
banana tree?
It's huge. It's this big, fat, bright yellow, slimy snail.
Only in California.
Yeah, it's so offensive.
So, are they still called the banana slugs?
Yeah, I think they are. And in fact, the year I went, they had just changed. They had just changed the mascot. I think it was like sea lions or something before, which to me I could.
Went from sea lions to banana slugs?
Yeah. Okay. So Santa Cruz is in the Bay Area. So it is. I call it the school of where all the hippie children went to if they didn't go to Berkeley. So it was all green and everybody was very happy.
I did not inhale.
So, but yeah, it was a great experience coming from like Vegas and LA to go there.
Oh my God.
It was beautiful though. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
yeah.
The ocean's right there. It's so green and
People here in California, if they've never been, the first thing they think of is just like LA or something like that. But there are parts that are
it's
beautiful.
gorgeous.
And there's parts that aren't that crazy.
yeah.
I mean, here they are. High school just tried to keep, or college just tried to keep a guy from walking across the stage in his military uniform because it was offensive, but yet they allowed banana slugs. Okay, that's just wrong. California's
going on?
weird. So needless to say, now let's fast forward to what now you're saying. You're in Texas. What brought you here?
My husband brought me here actually. So we relocated our family from the Los Angeles area here, and LA was getting really expensive.
Yeah.
And so, and that was really a great move for us. We have 3 boys, and we only had 1.5 at that point. I was still pregnant. But it was great. We go back home and it's crowds and people and like, you got to be all dressed up to go anywhere. I mean, really, you're going to the grocery store to the 9.
Why?
I don't know. It's so scenic. Like everything is kind of artificial, I would think, to where you have to look a certain way. So it was really nice to come here and calm all that down. And the boys got to hear an ice cream truck in their neighborhood and plug into a rec center and Little League. And, the experience that Texas has given my family, we really couldn't have had anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been really great. So that was about 10 years ago.
So how many children do you have now?
I have 3 boys,
Three
all
boys.
teenagers.
I know. See,
Yeah.
I know about them. So tell us a little bit about each one.
Okay, so Brandon's 17. He'll be a senior at the high school. He is in the Academy of Health and Science there. He plays football. I think he's going to hopefully play on varsity this year. He plays basketball also and runs track. Brandon's very bright. He's my pioneer. He wants to go to Abilene Christian University. He wants to be some type of engineer. So that's great. But he's a sweet boy. And then Dane, my middle son, he'll be a freshman, and we call him Benjamin Button because he was just born with an old nature, just an old soul. When you meet people and you're like, there's more history to you than these last 12 years. I joke with him all the time, like, okay, really, tell me how old you are. I could take it. So he likes green tea in the morning and his quiet time, and he's more artsy than all of my boys.
Oh, you got to let him come spend a weekend with me. I'll drive him crazy.
Oh, my gosh. He's a riot. He has a dry sense of humor. Most of my adult friends love Dane because he's just edgy. And then Cole brings all the sunshine. I have my son is blonde, bright-skinned, and blue-eyed.
He's blonde. I mean,
he is straight
platinum blonde.
He is.
So not platinum, but just
yeah,
almost white blonde.
Yeah, he was born with a version of albinism and nystagmus, and when he was born, our family lineage is just so mixed. Truly on Jermaine's side and on my side. So Cole was just the exclamation mark. It was just like, yeah, that makes total sense.
That's awesome.
Let's keep it moving. And that's what we did. I was a mama bear when he was born just because I didn't, people were weird and rude sometimes. And so it would get kind of frisky in Walmart on aisle 9 sometimes. Like, is this your kid? Are you kidding me? Do you want him? What?
Okay, so here's the disclaimer. I love this woman. We've been friends. I really love this woman, but I could vouch for her. I would not want to be the disturbance on aisle 9 with you. You would be taking somebody down.
But he has grown into a fine young man, and he's a poster board. He is walking education for a genetic study or anything that have to do with albinism or, any kind of physical disability. I heard the young lady with the show before with the visual impairment. He suffers with some of that. But at the same time, he's in the Lodia tournaments killing 3-pointers, so I'm like, I think he can see fine.
He's got selective vision.
Man.
I'm sorry, Mom.
I know.
I can't see myself doing the dishes.
Right.
I'm sorry, Mom. I can't see myself making my bed.
Absolutely. But he is just so loving and fun. So he's wonderful. They all are great. It's amazing having so many young men in my house and my world.
Well, before we take a break, tell us about Jermaine, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about you.
Yeah, okay. So I am married to Shawn Johnson. He is the owner of Gridiron Youth Sports Training. He is also the head coach of the middle school football program at the Woodlands Christian Academy, and also serves as the president of MCL, which is a local football league here in Montgomery County. And my husband's heart is for the youth in this county, and he's one of those people who wants to restore the glory days of the Conroe High School. So he feeds in on the grassroots level, and it's all about relationship and developing character in young men and teaching them technical aspects of
And that's
sports.
one of the problems that's happened at the school is the feeder system.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and it starts outside of the school. It starts out on the playground. It does. It starts out of, hey, dude, let's meet at the park at 3:00, in the summertime, and then that turns into organized sports at the park, and then that feeds into the school system, and we've kind of lost that here in the north side.
Yeah, so he really works to collaborate with a lot of the coaches at the junior high schools and at the high school. He's always running tournaments throughout the summer and really trying to publicize that on Facebook. So keeping kids busy and productive in that way is a huge, huge, wonderful thing. So he's a great guy.
Cool. Well, We're going to take a break right now. It'll be a couple of minutes break. We'll talk weather and traffic and all that kind of thing. But when we come back, I think the listeners are going to be real interested in hearing about, let's start back with the bus system, some history about the fact that we have a bus system.
All right.
And go crazy with that. And then later on, we're going to talk about a park and ride because it's time. It's time. Folks, Shawn Johnson, City of Conroe, Nathan Arrazate, Montgomery County Lifestyle on Lone Star Community Radio. We will be right back.
Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for a summer internship, Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to learn the radio and TV business. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776. Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world.
I'm back. She's back. We're back. Wednesday morning in Montgomery County, Conroe, Texas, and we are jamming to some Boogie Woogie, Ezra Charles. And a very special friend texted me, so now that means we have 4 listeners, okay? Because Sherry Morgan.
Oh, I just love her.
Did you read this text?
No.
Oh, did you hear that? Sherry, she just loves you. This is getting really sappy here. She says, Shawn Johnson is my queen. She's the best thing to happen to Conroe since fire extinguishers. What? What? There's some firemen that think they are the best thing to happen, even more so than fire extinguishers, because they are fire extinguishers. But you spelled her name wrong, Sherry. You forgot the Y. It's Taviya. So you just got called out on the air.
Oh, it's okay, Sherry. Thank you so much. That's so sweet.
Oh, man, we're on fire. We need to just run this into the next hour.
I know.
Okay, so tell us about the Conroe Connection. There's so many people that don't know about it, and they need to know about it.
Okay, so are you okay with me just talking freely and kind of loosely about
That's
this?
all I
don't
want,
want to
girl.
posture
This is
myself.
you.
Okay, so Conroe Connection really is my baby.
I know it is.
It is something, when I started working for the city, I just kind of wanted something part-time. I started working for Parks and Recreation, and I enjoyed it. But, God has a plan, and when he aligned me with this program, this project, and the lives that it touched, you talk about a heart conviction. I mean, I get frustrated, but all I have to do is hop on that bus, and it literally reminds me why I do what I do.
We're going to cry.
I know,
aren't
it's a
we?
problem.
Yeah.
Okay,
I haven't cried in 3 weeks, so it's about time.
It's about time. I need a good cry. So Conroe Connection is a local public transportation bus service that started in January of 2015. We just reached our 2-year anniversary. And that was just the physical manifestation of buses and bus stops and things like that. The planning dates back, I would say at least to about, 7 to 8 years before. And that was really the foresight of our city officials. Obviously, our area is growing, and so many other, people like myself are moving here from large cities and whatnot. And so there was an opportunity to identify grant funds for road expansions and just different improvements around the city. Well, a part of that is Federal Transit Administration money. And so there goes this idea, wonder if we could do this. I wonder how this could happen. And so a lot of planning took place before. When I inherited the project, grant money was already being funneled into the city of Conroe for such purposes. But I had the pleasure of just kind of executing and getting it off the ground. And it's been a wonderful thing. The bus service is a 19-mile route. We have 2 buses, so it's 2 routes. There's a north bus and a south bus. And the buses converge, they connect at the transfer point, which is on First Street, the Washington, I think they renamed it. It used to be MLK Park.
It's
so
Washington,
the First Street
Booker
Park,
T.
Booker T. Washington Park. So that's where the buses meet up on the top of every hour. And from there, they run their separate routes. And at the end of the hour, they meet right back there. And that's pretty much how it works. The North Bus, one of the major destination points there is Walmart and that whole North Loop 336 area. A lot of apartments are up there.
And a lot of those apartments, not just lower economic, let's say, less expensive apartments, but a lot of elderly people live up that direction too.
Definitely. So it really, that area is so dense in terms of population, all different kinds of different,
And then along the route, on Fraser, you go 2, 3, 4 blocks back, and you've got some areas of Fraser, dirt poor, ratty apartments, but they got to have a roof. And then a couple of blocks north or south of that one pocket, then you've got, again, average homes, middle class, older people. Either way, they're just a couple of blocks from the bus route and the stops.
Yeah, and we had to design it that way. We had to prove to the government that there was a need and where the population, where the need was, and that we want to move our residents from their homes to hospitals, to retail, to grocery stores, and so on, just to create that level of independence. So, and then the south route, goes down to our medical center area. So,
and that's huge because you've got the hospital, you've got Montgomery County Hospital District that helps with indigent care, and you've got Lone Star,
Family Medical Center,
Lone Star Family Health. I think is what it's called. Lone Star. God, I used to
and
know
the
that.
VA center is in.
And the VA is over there now too.
They relocated.
Absolutely.
So and so you mentioned our senior population. So you see a lot of that there. We also have a service that we are required to have, and it complements the fixed route. It's a ADA paratransit service, and that service is a door-to-door service. It's a shared ride program for individuals who are unable to navigate our fixed route. And that can mean anywhere from some form of disability or physical limitations to just the fact that there really isn't a sidewalk safe for them to get, to and from. So that's a wonderful program because it really operates like almost a mile outside of our fixed route. And so we can provide services for that. So it's a complete system. It's a young system. But our ridership is very strong. It's steady right now.
How much?
We need to expand. So we are pushing to reach the 3,000 mark per month.
Wow.
I remember the week it started. I couldn't even sit in my office because I just wanted to be on the bus so I can count. And I remember thinking, man, I hope when I get that ridership report this evening, it's at least 20 people. Oh man, I hope it's 30. And I hope it's 50. And I mean, it didn't take long at all. I go back and look at those reports this day where those numbers were 38 and now they're 500, It's just like.
And let me tell you what too, do you remember my videos?
I do. Are you kidding me? I got called over to City Hall, Shawn. I was like, who is this Nathan
Guy, wasn't
guy?
it?
Yeah.
From Guy.
What is going on?
Should I mention that?
Yeah, you should.
Okay, so I was so excited about the buses coming. Didn't really know you, but I was excited. I was doing a lot of work in Dugan, trying to help people out, and there's nonprofit work and stuff. Nancy Hines.
Yeah.
And I knew Marilyn Kazmierski, Lone Star, and stuff like that. So I saw where the buses were running. I'm like, oh my God, no one told me. No one told me. I didn't get to promote it. Didn't get to do anything. So I drove as fast as I could over to Lone Star because I thought that was one of the stops, and it is. But it wasn't ready to be one of the stops yet because of the driveway. So I'm sitting. Oh, they're like, oh yeah, the bus is here. Oh, the bus is coming. I'm like, no, it's not. So an hour later, I find out. So I drive over to Booker T, and I get on the bus, and I talk to the guy. I'm like, hey, dude, how many riders have y'all had? None. I said, it's 6 o'clock. I know, they ain't had none. So I'm riding it, and I'm getting to watching this guy, and I'm seeing we're passing businesses. Yeah. Businesses that people could get jobs at. Right. I know people over there, you know them, that's why your heart was in it. Yeah. People that don't have reliable transportation, get them reliable transportation. They could work at Joe's, they could work at Super Blue, Taco Bell, they could work at Walmart. Come on, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. They could get a job at the hospital, Kroger, whatever. And so I did one of my silly, Nathan Arrazate, how you doing? I'm on the bus.
That was great.
And I posted so 3 or 4 of them on riding the bus that night. And sure enough, Guy Martin.
That's so funny.
Well, because I wasn't calling anybody out other than the community. I thought the community had dropped the ball and needed to know.
Yeah, but I don't know if you realize, I think the day you went out there was our first day in operation.
Yes.
Right.
Or second day.
Okay, yes, somewhere around there. So we had been operating.
I know, and you had to, it's a soft opening.
Yeah.
You did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, what do you mean nobody knows?
Oh, it's so funny.
But you know what? That's a testament to Guy Martin.
Yeah.
He was bound and determined to make sure that the system didn't fail and that you had your support.
Absolutely. It was the best thing. And he, oh my gosh, he has been just an incredible. I mean, if there is a backbone to this thing, it's him. Just straight up. It just is. So his interest and, the whole political thing and just warning support and money and all the things that we need. And he does it with stories, really simple little stories. The people stories, the things that convict us, with our friends in Diggin or wherever they are. It's, he told this story about he was driving east on 105 here and saw this older woman walking with grocery bags. And either it was late in the evening or the weather was getting bad or something, and she wasn't on the sidewalk. It was just kind of pavement that she was walking on. But she was really struggling carrying these bags. And he's like, what store? Fiesta wasn't there then. Where's she coming from, And that just tugged his heart so much. And so, of course, he, does what he does here for the city, and the opportunity for transportation and transit services in Conroe began to surface. And boy, he honed in on that thing and have just ridden it all the way to where we are today. He's been very supportive.
Well, one thing I want to say is, and I don't even remember her name, but you know how in political things and running for office, you get crazy people? Some crazy woman. If I knew her name, I wouldn't say it, so I'm not mean. But one of those crazy women was talking at one of the political forums, running for one of the offices. And I wanted to stand up and just nail her just to the wall. Well, I followed the bus for hours and hours, and I didn't see anybody getting on and off. Well, first of all, get off your stinking car and get your butt on the bus. I have. I haven't in a long time, but you're right. I used to every now and then to bring myself down to earth and to meet the real people that we're with out there, And I'd get on there and see it, and, well, she couldn't. Well, she's wrong, because I've been on the bus, and it does have ridership, and it does make a difference. People don't realize to take a cab from the Dugan area to Lone Star Family Health is like $15 to $18 plus a tip. So you got a sick kid, you got to pay $20 to get there, and then you got to pay $20, $25 copay. That kid, $45, that kid may stay sick, right?
Yeah, it's such a hardship.
And don't anybody start being high and mighty. If you ain't got $45, guess what? You're going to try to home remedy that kid. It happens.
Absolutely.
But now you pay $1. So you didn't mention that. It's $1 to ride that bus. That's it. You're going to take that kid to get him taken care of.
Absolutely.
That's a huge. How about the young lady that couldn't get a job because she didn't have reliable transportation? The bus came into play, and what did the manager do when he hired her? She now had reliable transportation.
Absolutely.
How many other stories do we not even know?
I know. It's amazing. I hear them all the time. It's fantastic. It really is. And it's very heart-wrenching because, like you said, especially with medical expenses, I mean, as a mom, and, God forbid, if there's more children, you got to choose between medicine, food. I mean, it's really unfair, but it's just the way things are. So when we have services like this, and most of our riders really qualify at that 50% reduce rate, but that's what it's there for. This thing does not work without the people. And I try and keep myself very open to the community because I want to know what they want. Like I can administer anything you put in front of me. That's just a gift. But this, my heart is in, and I'm not going to roll it out, even a third route or a parking ride, if it's not what the folks of Conroe want and what they'll use. So it's been good. And we have a lot of partnerships, too. So that mom and her sick child go over to Lone Star. They'll hook up with Ashley or Marilyn, who'll give them free tickets to come back next time and so on. So.
We got to take a break. It's only going to be a short one. When we come back, let's finish up talking about that. Let's talk about some of the future plans of that.
Okay.
And then we'll finish up in a couple of minutes with park and rides. Is that good?
That sounds great.
Shawn Johnson, City of Conroe. Nathan, you know me. Listen to Lone Star Community Radio, your community radio. We'll be right back.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
All righty, folks, we are back. How you doing, dude? It's a beautiful day out there. Nice car you got out there. If only he knows where the voices are coming from. I told you, folks, I'm in Fuego today. What is my problem? Holy Moses. All right, we were talking about the huge party that we threw for the community to announce the buses. Unfortunately, I'm not going to take away from your time because we could talk about that for 5 minutes. I do know I've got video of Guy Martin dancing.
Oh, yeah.
City Councilman Guy Martin, and it's not a pretty sight. The guy does not have the moves that I have, of course. And I got video of you and Rita.
Oh, yeah.
Doing what is it? The wobble? Something like that.
Something choreographed.
Yeah, okay, we won't do that. Anyway, okay, so finish up with the buses. Tell us what you want to tell us about that. And then, because we got about 5 minutes.
All right, so with the buses, use them. You know, it's funny because it's a new feature, it's a new amenity in our city, and I think people need time to learn how to incorporate it into their lives. And so what I'm doing while everyone's figuring that out, and obviously you can call me or email me or whatever, is future planning. Our bus stop was very effective. It was very necessary. It matched the requirements we needed for our grant funding. We had the perfect demographics, perfect amount of growth, population in our area. All that was a wonderful recipe. So now that the cake is is baking, now it's time to figure out how we're going to serve it up. And one of the most immediate things we're working on now is a third route. And this would be a east-west route, and it would highlight the Tri-County facility on Sergeant Ed Holcomb, Social Security, ninth grade campus, the high school on the stadium end, as you're going up Longmire. Mm-hmm. Yeah, DPS, the WIC office on the east side here, maybe even the Lone Star College out at 3083. So we're working on that. My assistant, Lindsay, is incredible. Have you ever had a part-time assistant who works part-time hours but works like 2 full-time people?
Yeah, she's insane.
Oh, my goodness. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyway, she developed this map for me and actually did the timing. And it is beautiful. And I am going to be beside myself as soon as I can get this thing launched. Because now I've got this quadrant. I've got north, I've got south, east, and west. And I can go from there.
Well, I can see what it does with the Social Security office, big time. Tri-County, huge.
Yeah.
Ninth grade campus. I've known some kids that get out of school. They stay after school.
Yeah.
But they stay after till 4:15. But the evening bus doesn't leave until 5:30, and so they're sitting there for an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. But for 50 cents, they could jump on the bus and come home.
That's it. Yeah. So
and in the summertime, I know sometimes they'll have practices and do stuff up there. Now they can, and there's no buses running, but for 50 cents, they can go.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very excited about that. We need it, and it's going to happen. It's timing and getting all our ducks in a row, but that's going to be great. And so there'll be a huge marketing push for that. I hope to talk to you, when we get real close to doing it. And with anything we roll out, like I said, it's not effective unless it works for you. So if that doesn't make sense, or even in your mind right now, if you're thinking, no, Shawn, your third route should look like this and this, email me. I'm at Shawn S. Johnson at thecityofconroe.org. I love having those conversations, how to navigate efficiently, especially with this transit system. So that's coming on, and it's going to be great. It's just another level.
Park and ride.
Yeah, can you believe that? No kidding. So we had an agreement with TxDOT where they actually constructed a park and ride, a commuter service lot. It is located.
Who paid for it?
The The city paid 20%.
Exactly.
And the state paid 80%.
And that's my point. People want to say my taxes, this and that. Oh my God.
Yeah, we're leveraging.
2 cents out of 10 cents. Hello.
Yeah, and all of our transportation projects are like that.
Exactly.
I mean, the least, so the most is 80-20. We might get a 50-50, but literally the most is 80-20. And what we do with that has been just, I mean, you see it. It's incredible.
Yep.
So that's really great. So it's at FM 2854. It's under the freeway, so under, Highway 45.
Next to the old LP Towers.
Right.
Next to the library.
Yes.
And it's underneath the freeway, so
Yes.
it's covered.
Yes.
And it's fenced in now for better security.
Yes.
It's beautiful asphalt and striped. And how many cars can it hold?
298.
300 cars that sucker can hold.
And so, what we're doing now is, now that it's constructed, so now we have to go out and find an operations service. So we are planning to launch, advertise, and accept bids for different services, transportation providers who can come in and with their own fleet, which is great because now I can get out of the bus business buying, and those things are expensive. Commuter buses, you've seen them, right? The mega buses. They're huge. They have restrooms in them, and there's details, and it's not the cutaway buses on the fixed route.
Right.
We're talking Greyhound kind of stuff, So I'm excited about them bringing their fleet, and so we'll see the responses we get. There's some big names out there, Metro, things like that could, come in and partner with us. But basically, these buses will run, so it'll be 3 to 4 buses at different times in the morning. I think it starts as early as 5 a.m. And we'll go directly into Houston, downtown, midtown, and the medical center. And then there'll be evening runs. And I think there's a midday run, too. We're still working out the schedule or whatnot. But that's the idea. And what we know is that there are so many commuters in Conroe, north of Conroe, that are feeding into the Woodlands Park and Ride. And that was the case up until now. But I know a lot of those folks have reached out to me, and they are chomping at the bit. They are like, let's go. When is this happening? When is this happening? So we're moving as quick as we can. It's happening. I mean, the parking lot's there. And what I hope to do for launching that service is actually hosting a transportation fair actually at that site. Maybe it'll be in the fall. And what I want to do is work with a lot of the social service agencies that provide some type of transportation. Obviously, we'll have information about what we're doing and our future plans, but also bring in other regional providers that provide transportation. My goal, I have a dream, and my dream is to centralize transportation services for Montgomery County, period. So whether that's Amtrak, Greyhound, Megabus, whatever it is, Conroe Connection, commuter service, van pool, all in one roof. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's what I'm always working toward, taking over the White House. So.
All right, listen, I've had a blast. We've had so much fun.
I know,
and remember how we could talk for another hour.
I know.
So as we get closer and as more comes up, we're going to get you back on here.
Sounds great.
We're going to talk more about the updates for the third route and for
Park and
Ride.
Ride, yeah.
Real quick, tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Okay, so to get a hold of me, my email, like I said, is sjohnson@cityofconroe.org. My phone number is 936-522-3526. Other than that, I office out of the Chamber of Commerce building where the CVB is, and GCEDC, the Economic Development. You can just walk in there and say my name really loud. I'm sure I'll hear you and come running. So
awesome. Thank you for being here.
You're so welcome. Thank you,
Love
Nathan.
having you. And we're going to be sharing this either tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
So blow it out there and share it.
All right.
Good?
Thank you all. Thanks for listening.
Folks, you've been listening to Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Arrazate on Lone Star Community Radio. Hey, tomorrow, awesome. Trey Diller, Inspire Production. He's put on so many events. Texas Taco Tequila Margarita Festival a couple of weeks ago, 25,000 people were there. Guess what? We're bringing it here to Conroe, downtown Conroe, Heritage Plaza, Texas Taco Tequila Margarita Festival. It's going to be gigantic. He's going to be on talking about that. He's got more events. He wants to bring them here, downtown. Friday, who do I have Friday? Paulina, because of the Mannered Mutt. We're going to talk all things to do with dogs and training and boarding and stuff like that. Thank you for listening. Nathan Arrazate, Montgomery County Lifestyle, reminding you that it is your county, your life, and your style. Thank you.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.